even today, I still feel guilty of killing my mother because of my behavior. Oh, my name is Ananias Mashishi. I'm from Pretoria, Mabopane. I've been involved in gangsterism until I end up doing drugs. And then I was in prison, stayed in prison with my addiction. I've been clean now, it's been 5 months. I was raised up in a good family whereby I have a mother and father who raised us in a good environment. Then they took me to school. Then when I was in high school, that's when I started meeting friends. Then I was in a gang. I started smoking cigarettes. It was in 1986 when I was in high school. Then 87 already I was drinking alcohol. I was in a gangsterism whereby we were stealing cars, all those things. Then I graduated from alcohol to marijuana, starting smoking marijuana. We were always trying to impress girls. That time, when we were in a gang, they used to take you as a cool guy. So graduating from small crime, petty crimes to big crimes, starting robbering, we were using knives, starting using guns, start robbing filling stations. My father tried to get me a job at the post office. Then I just worked maybe a year and a half. Then they expelled me for my behavior because I was always absent from work because during Monday I couldn't go to work. I was using alcohol. So it ended up that I was fired. Then I go back to the life. In fact, I was still living with my friends, the gangs, all those things. But my father tried to take me out by getting me a job. But I couldn't last. Then I carry on with that life, robbing, doing all those funny things. Sometimes even people were getting killed. And then it happens that in 1998, we robbed a filling station, and then I was arrested. And then I escaped with some of my gang members. We escaped from police custody, and then I was arrested again in 1999. It was late 1999. Then early 2000, I was sentenced here in Klerksdorp. I was sentenced 24 years in prison. That's when I went to prison. Then when I arrived in prison, that's where I also joined the 26 gang. That's where, in fact, my life changed from bad to worse. When I was told to prove that I'm a gang member, I was given a knife to stab a person to prove that I'm one of the gang members. Then I did that because I wanted some status also in the gang. And then what happens is that the prison warders beat me up. Then I was in the hospital in a coma. Well, after that, I came back. I carry on with the life of gangsterism in prison. There were a lot of things that were terrible that were happening. People were killed. I was also nearly killed inside prison. Then that's when I started using heroin in prison.
Okay, so you were able to get that hard drugs in prison?
We used to get them very, very simple. They don't allow cash, but we have ways of carrying cash with us. And we also use bartering, like using cigarettes, all those things to make a transaction. So I've been using heroin from 2012. I told myself I'll be able to manage it. I told myself I was using it because I couldn't sleep, and I used to see the people who are using heroin falling fast asleep. In fact, they were not having a problem sleeping. So I thought maybe it will help me sleep. Then I started using it, and then I got hooked. I told myself I'll be able to manage it when I get out of prison.
You said you couldn't sleep. What are the reasons for that?
After I was sentenced for 24 years, in 2002, my mother passed away of a heart attack, and they couldn't allow me to go and bury her because I was also an escapee because I escaped. So they said I was an onvluchter. Yes, I was a flight risk, so they couldn't allow me to go to my mother's funeral. So I had that guilty conscience that I killed my mother because she used to tell me that I'll end up killing her with a heart because of my behavior. She was in and out of hospital until, so the fact that I couldn't bury her, it really had a huge impact on me. In fact, I felt guilty. Even today, I still feel guilty of killing my mother because of my behavior. So, well, most of the time I couldn't sleep. I usually sleep during the early hours of the morning. I made that as an excuse to smoke drugs. So now I realize it was not a valid excuse, but I just make an excuse for myself to use drugs at that time. I was released in 2018. I spent 18 years of my sentence. When I was released, it was like a dream come true because when the magistrate told me that I'm doing 24 years, to me it was a lifetime. I didn't think that I will end up getting out of prison. But that day, when the parole board told me that I'll be released on the date that they given me, I was over the moon. In fact, I was very happy. I thought that I'm going to start a new life. But I knew deep down that I have to face a problem of an addiction. So I got out of prison and I tried to hide it from my family, from everybody, even my neighbors, that I'm using the drugs. But I couldn't manage them because at the end of the day, I had to feed that habit. After getting out of prison, I was lucky to have a job. So I was working every day. I was pretending to live a normal life every day. Even my employer, I pretended that everything is all right, but I have to feed the habit that I have of heroin. So I end up living a double life whereby I'm acting as a good person in front of my family and my bosses and my colleagues at work. And then during lunch, I'll just disappear, have that drag, then go back to work. Just like that, during family gatherings, I'll just disappear for a few minutes, do that thing. In the morning, I'll just have something, tell them something that I need to go somewhere very fast just to get the fix. In fact, that life, I end up, in fact, the girlfriend that I was living with find some of the drugs in my pockets, and I started telling her lies that no, I'm not using, I'm selling. Well, as time goes on, she realized that no, I was lying. She told me that you must try to stop this. I tried by myself. I even bought myself this medicine. They call it the one that people are drinking when they are in addiction. I tried to use it, but I couldn't do it by myself. I tried a lot. Sometimes I could stay from morning. I told myself I'm not smoking, but during lunchtime I would go running to the dealer because of the cravings were too much for me to handle. I was ashamed at my age, at this age, telling my sister that a heroin addict. I felt ashamed, but I couldn't find any solution for myself because I knew that I needed to be helped. And my sister was the only person that I know she can help me about this. To me, it was a relief. It was a relief because really, I was really, my life was going down the drain. I was really going down the drain. I could see myself living in the streets, losing my job, losing even my family. In fact, I was heading to the drain. I was going down. Well, my sister really surprised me. She didn't take it as a shock. I thought that I was hiding everything. My sister told me that she suspected something was wrong with me. In fact, she told me that she knew that I was using drugs, but she wanted to see where will I end up. The following day on Sunday, she told me to be ready in 10 o'clock Sunday. Then she came, her and her husband, they took me. Then that's when I arrived here in Hope again. I was a mess. In fact, when I come here, I couldn't even walk properly. In fact, I was not there. I was a dead man walking when I come here to Hope again. It is like a small paradise on earth. I can say that according to how I felt about it after I started realizing where I was. When I came here, I was rebellious. I didn't take these things that you see here seriously. But when times goes on, I started to realize that I'm in an environment which actually is all about God, Jesus Christ. In fact, here we are taught about how to overcome the things that we had in our past lives. So it is simple to do that just through the help of accepting Jesus Christ. To tell you the truth, I expected to be helped with an addiction. I thought that I was going to be given the injections they will take, but I was surprised that what they taught me, I found that it was simple to get out of addiction just by accepting Jesus Christ. I didn't think that it was possible. But when I arrived here in Hope again, most of the things that they taught us, it was about God, receiving Jesus and accepting that God is my creator and my life is unmanageable without God. With God, everything is possible. With Jesus Christ in my life, I can do anything. I couldn't think that I can last a day without using a fix. I had never been a religious person. I didn't in fact believe. But since being here in Hope again, I realized that why did I waste so much time in my life? Well, first time when I go through that door, I was able to speak things that I never even speak to my sister. I spoke everything that I never even tell anybody, even the things that I never even tell you. I talked about them in that room, and it was like some weight had been lifted upon my shoulders. In fact, I felt great when I get out of that room, just that first day. It was as if I came with something and I left it there. This was the right time for me to realize that, and I'm happy I've accepted Jesus Christ. I've made a relationship with God, and I know where I'm going now. I'm no longer that person that I used to be just because of the word of God. Myself and the first Ananias and this Ananias, I was sure that I know everything. I used to tell myself that I can do anything by myself. But now I realize that there is nothing that I can do without giving myself to God and accepting Jesus Christ in my life. Now, what I realize is that my life should have been better that time if I chose to live the life of Christ. I realize now that all the things that I've done in my life, I'm in a clean slate. Jesus Christ has died for me on the cross. I'm happy. I didn't know that I can be free, being able to say that the past is the past, the new is the new. The life of gangsterism is all about lies. First of all, I was being used, and I end up even using other people. In fact, the thing that I expected from gangsterism, it was the opposite. Instead of feeling accepted, I felt used. Here, I don't need to be something to be accepted. Only if Jesus Christ accepted me. I don't care who accepts me or doesn't accept me.
How do you sleep now?
Well, I sleep like a baby. I even sometimes wake up late. They have to wake me up.
That's, so, do you, this might be a bit personal, what do you see lying ahead
Lying ahead.
in your life?
Well, lying ahead in my life, I see very, very great thing. I wish it was 20 years back. I should have said I'm going to study, be an advocate or whatever. But still, I'm happy I'm still alive. And when I read the Bible, it tells me that there is always a time for everything. I believe my time in life to prosper, to be somebody that I want to be, or what God wants me to be, it will happen. But at this moment, I told myself that because of everything that I've done in my life, I give everything to Jesus Christ. He will just decide with my life what He's doing with my life. I'll just follow. But I see great things in my life. In fact, I feel I have a potential to do great things.
So tell me a bit about what's happening here. What's happening in this place?
We are taught about discipline. I didn't have discipline in my life. I take responsibility of cleaning where I'm sleeping, cleaning where I'm washing, cleaning where I'm eating, cleaning where I'm living, and even doing duties that teach me about something that I didn't know that I can do. People whereby they are taught how to weld, people are taught how to make a mechanic, some people were even fixing cars, some people are doing a carpentry, we have a wood workshop. Then me, I'm now in lands. I didn't know that I had a passion in plants. To me, it was very special to put the seed on the soil and to see something sprouting. That life, it was something very, very amazing to me. So I don't see a reason for me to go and buy something that I can plant and then it can grow and then eat it at the end of the day. I believe most of the youngsters, they think they know better than their parents. That was my problem, thinking that I know more than my parents. Especially to the younger people, I would like to tell them that their parents know it better. And it is not a mistake to make a mistake, but not learning from your mistake is a mistake. So we can do mistakes, but we must learn from those mistakes. And I think everybody who's got a problem must come to hope again. Because really, the way to hope again, that's what I have now.